Well, folks, Mitt Romney's got a problem on his hands. It ain't looking too good for him in a number of key states. The numbers are brutal for him. The latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll shows the president is gaining traction in battleground states. President Obama leads Mitt Romney with voters in those states 50-42. Why? Well, the attacks on Romney's record at Bain are starting to stick. Swing state voters are more likely to view Romney's business record negatively than voters nationwide. And among Romney voters in general, most say their vote is a vote against President Obama rather than for the Republican nominee. Also working in the president's favor, his position on immigration. It has energized Latino voters in Florida. The latest polling from Quinnipiac gives the president the advantage over Romney in the Sunshine State. In Pennsylvania, the president tops Mitt Romney as well, 40-45-39. And in Ohio, the president is enjoying a whopping 9-point lead over the former Massachusetts governor. Let's turn to MSNBC political analyst Richard Wolff tonight, along with the Grio's Joy Reid and syndicated radio talk show host Michael Medved. Great to have all of you with us tonight. Okay, we're down to 4 months to go. July, August, September, October, and I mean, there's not a whole lot of days left. Richard, can he fix this in 4 months?
Well, look, these numbers are going to tighten up because if the negative attacks on Mitt Romney have worked to a degree, then when Karl Rove and the Koch brothers get spending their money on the president, as we expect them to do, and outspend the president's campaign, you're going to see the negative numbers for the president rise too. So I think some of these numbers are going to narrow a little bit. But you've also got an economy, especially in a place like Ohio. That's the eye-popping number there. In Ohio, where the unemployment rate is now lower than it was when the president took office, that's a difficult message for Romney to overcome because his core message is the economy is doing badly.
Joy, what does Romney have to do?
Yeah, I know, and Richard makes a good point, Ed, also in Florida, where the unemployment rate went down to the point where allegedly the Romney campaign started telling the governor, Rick Scott, stop talking about the improving jobs numbers. That's not helping us. I think the problem for Romney is that he hasn't given voters enough data points besides his business record to really peg him on. So since he is the more unknown quantity, people are just going with what he's given them, which is his business record. It's left ample room for the president to attack him. I think the only thing Romney could do at this time would be to fill in more data points. And since he's so reluctant to give anything about his personal life or to give more than just Bain and the economy, he's left himself really vulnerable.
Michael Medved, Rush Limbaugh said that Romney was not ready for prime time on his immigration answer. What does Romney have to do to turn this around?
Well, first of all, I would agree with what was said before. I think he has to lay out a very direct, specific, constructive, moderate immigration reform. And the kind of immigration reform that, frankly, President Bush tried to do, and where President Bush was deep-sixed by a number of Democrats, including Senator Barack Obama. Look, the nation needs an agenda for reform. And the one thing that Mitt Romney has going for him is that most people are still convinced that the country is headed in the wrong direction. And there is absolutely no reasonable basis
not in the swing
for thinking
states,
that
Michael.
if you want to change direction, you're going to get a change of direction with the same president.
But we say it's a national election, but it comes down to swing states. We all know that because the country is divided red and blue states. Right now, the country being headed in the wrong direction doesn't mean anything in Ohio because those people are with Obama right now. And if Romney can't do something, maybe start giving some direct answers on the economy, on how he's going to fund education, on what his health care plan is. Maybe he'll tell us tomorrow on the heels of the Supreme Court decision. And immigration. I mean, the guy just is not, he's not definite on anything.
I agree with you. And by the way, one of the things that you hear from the Romney campaign, and I think is interesting, is that they may get the vice presidential pick out there early so that the convention can be focused on precisely that specific agenda
what about that,
for
Richard?
change.
You get a small pop for the vice presidential story, and then it disappears because the focus goes back to the top of the ticket, and that's why people like to do it just before the convention.
Joy, what does President Obama need to do to keep this momentum going?
Well, basically, I mean, the thing is that fundamentally a re-elect race, right, is that you have to convince people to change from what they have now. So as long as the economy tends to it to trend generally more positive and things to get generally better, particularly in the swing states, as you just said, Ed, then the president just has to keep pretty much hammering Romney. This is a replay of the 2004 election, when essentially the Bush campaign made John Kerry unacceptable as a replacement. That's what the Obama campaign is doing. And unless Romney does something to arrest that, and Michael Medved, spoke a little untruth there about immigration. I mean, the president, when he was a senator, voted for immigration reform, and it's Republicans who filibustered the DREAM Act. And Romney was against the DREAM Act. He's stuck with those positions. He can try to move off of them, I guess, maybe try to put an Hispanic running mate on. I don't know what he could do now to fix it because he's being defined negative.
All right, Richard Wolff, Joy Reid, Michael Medved, great to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much. Coming up, you won't believe what a new poll shows about Mitt Romney and aliens. Maybe he can get this right. We'll bring you the numbers next.